I had a house, I had a job, I had kids, I had a wife. Life was just moving along until all of a sudden it wasn't. And I was faced with probably what was at the time the most difficult situation in my life. It hit me unexpectedly. It broke my heart. I mean, I was heartbroken is an understatement to say how bad I felt. I was very fortunate to have some close family around. My parents and my brothers are great, but there was still sadness and heartbreak and loneliness that I felt during that time, and they couldn't be with me all the time, so there was a lot of alone time. I decided one day that I was going to go to church because churches are filled with nice people, right? And I needed somebody, I needed a community. I was looking for something that could help me fill in the gaps of my life because it felt like a lot of isolation. I walked into church having no idea what to expect. I had not been raised in the church. I didn't own a Bible. I didn't know anything about anything when it came to church life. But what I found was a group of people that, despite my flaws, despite my current circumstance, and the fact that I cried every day a lot, they were willing to just open their arms and accept me for who I was. It didn't matter, that I was going through a divorce. It didn't matter, what my job was or, anything like that. They loved me for me. They saw that I was hurt and they just welcomed me. And as I started to read and understand and listen to this new family, this new church family that I had, it just started to change my life. I wanted to know more. I felt welcome. I felt included. I felt like I had family. I felt like I had community in a spot where I never expected to find that. And then I realized, that I wasn't alone. There was a lot of people that feel this way out there. There's a lot of people that are feeling isolated. There's a lot of people going through a difficult time in their lives, and they really have no idea that church can be a place where you can find community. Such an unlikely place for me back 5 or 6 years ago. I never would have expected it, but God knew that I needed a very close friend that was going through something very similar to what I was going through, actually identical to what I was going through. It was only by chance, by a Google search, that I found the church that I went to. It was only by chance that I went to their website, and that week was the start of their spring divorce care group. So I went, and in that same group was a man that is still my best friend to this day, going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. God knew what I needed. God knew that I needed a friend, and He put in front of me somebody going through the exact same circumstance that I was, and it's only by the hand of God that could have ever happened. What I've experienced is not always knowing the why. I may not ever know the why I am divorced right now. But what I do know is that God uses everything. Through my divorce, I've been able to connect with others that are going through or have gone through a divorce over the last 5 years. And I see how God is taking the suffering that I went through, and He is allowing me to help others, and has allowed me to help others that have gone through this very thing. I believe that's what He is doing through me right now, is redeeming the cost of my suffering by helping the next person that's going to go through a divorce, and be there for them and share the Word of God with them the same way that someone shared the Word of God with me about God's love and His mercy and His grace on our lives.